This video is going to be the top 10 things you need to survive in the outdoors. I'm using the Pathfinder, Dave Canterbury's 10 C's. It's a good checklist to use, so stay with me and I'll go through the top 10 items you need to survive outdoors. Number 10. This one's a little controversial, and it's because it doesn't have many uses, but the use that it does have, and this is a canvas needle. The purpose of this really is to be able to repair your gear and your clothing. You can use the inner strands from Paracord, and canvas needle is really strong. You can use it to fix anything that's broken. Now again, it doesn't have many uses, which is why it's number 10. Number 9, cargo tape. What you mean by that is duct tape. This is the T-Rex small roll. I haven't broken it down any more, but you can actually get this a lot thinner, wrapping it around objects so you don't use up any more space. Right now this stays in my get home bag, so I have plenty of space in there. This can be used to tape things together, of course. It can be used for repairs on any type of cover you're using, and also clothing. Also has other uses, from fire starting to anything else you can think of. That's a good thing about most of these products and just types of objects here is they have multi-purposes. Number 8, compass. You know, basic compass, not one of the little ones that you put on a keychain or anything like that. Something you can actually use to navigate. Along with this, of course, a map of the location that you're in. Might not always know where to have the maps for, but if you don't, at least with this, you can easily tell direction. Throw with this maybe pace beads, so you know what distance you're traveling. If you actually take the time to figure out what your pace is, you know, what your stride length is, how long it takes to get a certain amount of distance, whether that be, you know, a kilometer, a mile, you know, you can figure it out. Next, cotton bandana. And what you're really looking at here is something, I put different examples here of what I think cotton can be. From a towel, very small, to a very thin cap, to one of my favorites, a neck gaiter. This thing you can shape many different ways. Can provide a lot more warmth, but you can also clean yourself with it. You can use it to filter anything through it or collect items. So it doesn't have to be a bandana. I'm not a big fan of bandanas, but I think that some type of object, any of these, can serve you great purposes. If you need to cut it into smaller strips, you know, there's an idea right there. Number 6, candlelight. Ideally, I'd rather have something hands-free, but I really like this product here also. It's Lucy Light. It's one of the inflatable solar-powered ones. These make great tent lights. It's so very light and it recharges itself. So those are items number 5 to 10. Those are items that are considered not essential, but good to have. So let me go through numbers 1 through 5 right now. Number 5, cordage. Best type is probably going to be Paracord. You know, it's very small. There's about probably 25 feet right there. But again, you can make it to the length you need it. You can take the strands out, again, with the needle for sewing things up. You can use it for a fishing line, so many different options. I would definitely prefer Paracord over a regular rope. This is a 1/2 inch. One I have here is military surplus, very inexpensive, but it's big. And this one right here is 5 meters, so 15 feet. This is probably 100 feet right there. So I definitely prefer the Paracord. Number 4 is container. Really, two things you're thinking about when you're picking a container. This one is single wall stainless steel. It's good size, be able to carry your water in, but since it's single walled, you can also put this on the fire and boil your water. Now another option is something like this. You can also boil water in it. This is a German mess kit. This one's brand new. I got this on military surplus also. It was only about $15. Has multiple compartments in there, so you can cook food and have two separate things. You can also store water in this. Number 3 is cover. This goes from the clothing you're wearing to some type of shelter. This right here is a camouflage tarp, but you don't need anything that is too expensive or anything that's going to take up too much room. If you really need to get the size down, you can go for a contractor's garbage bag. You know, these things are great. You can use this as a sleeping bag. You can cut this open, use it like a tarp would, especially if you're making a primitive shelter. You can put this on the outside so that will keep rain out and keep you dry. Number 2 is combustion. If you've seen any of my videos, you've probably seen the little fire starter kits that keep in the Altoids. You know, just multiple ways of making a fire, whether it's a lighter, matches, you know, flint and steel, magnesium thing here from Coleman, or ferro rods, which I have a few in there. There's also a solar magnifying lens in there. And of course, everyone's favorite, number 1, cutting tool. Can be something as simple as a Mora, you know, $10, $15. These are great knives. May also, if you want, a small folding saw. This one is the Silky Pocket Boy. Made in Japan. Has 2 different angles on there, okay, so you don't scrape your knuckles. You know, great saw. Small, very compact. It does its job, and it saves you a lot of time rather than using a smaller knife, or even what I would consider my favorite cutting tool for outdoors would be a nice large knife. You can do all the same tasks that you can with this, except maybe some fine whittling. This is the Kershaw Camp 10. It's great because it's a chopper, so I can use it to basically what its name is, you know, chop down logs. So I can build shelter, use it to make firewood, anything like that. So those are the top 10 items for outdoor survival. Again, I'm using the Pathfinder's 10 C's. It's a nice checklist, using something like that to make sure you're not forgetting anything. If you have any suggestions, something you think I missed, again, I'm using exactly how it was taught to me and not changing any of the items out. There are other items that I would want to bring, and again, there's some that I may not think that I always need here. You know, canvas needle, it's so small though. You know, I actually just keep it in the fire tin here. If you have any questions about any of the individual items that are on here, leave a comment below. I'll reply back with what it is, where you can get it from, but most of these are the standard things that you're used to seeing. I think the Silkies are very popular for the compact folding saws. You know, Mora knife is a great knife. I really like the Kershaw Camp 10. The other stuff on here, some of it's military surplus. The mess kit I just got recently. It's German, but it was brand new and only about $15, somewhere around there. So if you have any questions, let me know.